Hello everybody, Travis here. Tpull's Corner is back, so welcome one and all. This deck is called Playful Slasher, and it features 4 copies of the Unstoppable Slasher. And we're going to, our intent is to take the Slasher and sort of beef it up a tiny bit. White is already slowing us down. Not sure we can do anything about that. I've been away for a couple of weeks. It was not planned. Pass. But, you know, it had to be done. So I'll go over all that with you later. Let's get through this first match, and then I'll do the deck tech, and then I will update you with everything that's been going on in life. This is just all about life gain, isn't it? Well, if the slasher starts hitting them, their life gain isn't going to count for much. That does not necessarily stop us, but what does stop us is they gave me the most expensive card in the deck, and then the other expensive cards in the deck, and I need one more land to make everything work. And my one little, okay, I didn't get land, and I don't have the right color to cast my removal, but this one little 1/1 is keeping them from attacking me. That's hilarious. Okay, let's try Barbed Servitor. Enjoy your life gain.
I will do all I can to support you.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Your soul burns.
Let's see if they forgot what Fear of Lost Teeth does. I think they forgot. 1 point of damage to any target, so they still lose their attacker. In the meantime, they can attack this way. That's fine, I think. How do I want to do this? I think we just want to destroy this now this way.
Have faith that you will still triumph.
They take 2 points of damage. And now they think they've got a clear path to just come on through and attack me. Ooh. I'm glad they used that to find land and not to do a fight spell. Yeah, they're going to get a couple of hits in, and I'm going to be near dead, because I'm going to put the slasher out first, before anything else. And then I'm still going to attack with the Servitor and lose another life just to draw a card. And now with the slasher tapped, are they going to still swing in with 1 or 2 creatures? If they swing in with too many creatures, like that one, what did that do? Vigilance and Trample. Okay. They do not attack at all. Well, you're kind of going to lose your guy anyway. That's a sorcery, not an instant. And go ahead and put this puppy down. And then we're going to put Convenient Target on the Unstoppable Slasher. So now it has Menace. These both have Menace. And they take it. Life is good. Whew. More than 15 points in a single round. It's gotta hurt. They're still ahead of me in life. But drawing one land is not going to help their cause any. Do they know exactly how much trouble they're in? Let's see. We'll just get rid of that little one. And then we'll play the land. We'll go ahead and give them some life gain here. Give them a couple of points, because they're going to lose it because they can't block either of these. Might as well attack with the rabbit, right? What else can you do? Oh, this is fun. Render inert. This is in case one of the unstoppable slashers is tapped, but it's also for the battles. We can remove all of those without even bothering to attack through to them. Cast that for free. And get rid of you. Grandma Ravi already has some counter. And one less point of damage. Ta-da! This was the whole thing right here. Put convenient target on unstoppable slasher. And it worked the first time out the door. Life is good. Catching up on a lot of other stuff. I got one of my 3 chores done for the day. Let's go to the deck. Pull it up. Playful Slasher is what we're calling it. And I did this because the way that Unstoppable Slasher works is you round up the damage. So you do combat damage to a player, they lose half their life. It's rounded up. So if they're at 15 and you hit them for 2, they're going to go down to 13. And then they're going to lose 7 and go down to 6. And now a lot of the times this ends up happening is you get the opponent down to 1 life point. So I have 4 copies of Playful Shove in here, so that if I do get them down to 1 life point, they may have calculated everything to just make sure that they have that 1 life point left, and they think they're good. And then I just kill them with this. It's happened a couple times. I did burn a couple of wild cards because I was just not getting 4 of these in earning my Duskmourn cards. So I did have to burn some for that. But to round out the deck, Fear of the Lost Teeth is like an MVP here. You saw they had 4 creatures down, but the fact that I could deal 1 damage as the creature and 1 damage to any target when it died, I was single-handedly with one single 1/1 holding off 4 creatures from attacking. It was glorious. If they do manage to have Unstoppable Slasher tapped or immobilized, I can play Final Vengeance, sacrifice the Slasher, and exile one of their creatures as well, and that'll get me my Slasher back. Convenient target, of course. You suspect the enchanted creature. This is from the Karlov Manor expansion. The creature itself gets +1/+1, which is just enough. And then there's a little bit of advantage here because I can spend 3 and return this card from the graveyard to your hand. This is kind of, how do I want to say, this is kind of a good time to be a Magic player if you like enchantment auras, because in the old days they never would have done that. But enchantment auras have this negative draw card advantage. If you put an enchantment on a creature and they spend 1 removal card to remove that creature, you're out 2 cards, right? You've lost your creature and the enchantment. So in order to counter that disadvantage, the design teams in the past 10, 15 years have been trying different tricks to make the auras worth it, as well as being able to reuse them. So I really think that they have kind of gone too far, maybe, with the ability we can just pay 3 mana, put this back, and then slap it on whatever creature we want again. It's a lovely card. It really is. Playful Shove is cool because you also draw a card to replace itself. For removal, we have Blood Spatter Analysis. When it enters, you do 3 damage to target creature. It has to be when an opponent controls. Whenever 1 or more creatures die, and that can include your creatures, you mill a card. This gets a Bloodstain counter on the enchantment. Once you have 5 Bloodstain counters on it, the enchantment is sacrificed. You have no choice about that. As soon as you get 5 counters there that are Bloodstain counters, it goes away. When you do, target creature card goes from your graveyard to your hand. So if they've gotten rid of our slasher, here's a way to bring it back to our hand, and then we just cast it again. You saw me use Render Inert. We used it on the battle. It's pretty cool that way. If they kill our Unstoppable Slasher, it comes back to the battlefield. It has 2 counters on it, 2 stun counters. If I have Render Inert in my hand right when it comes back, I can remove those counters and still draw a new card to replace this card. So it comes in pretty handy. It's a little rare because I only have 1 copy, right? But I love this card. I should probably just take all the decks that I've made with this card in it and make a playlist, a Render Inert playlist at this point. I keep coming back to this card and using it. It's a seriously underutilized card. If these people kill my creature and think that I'm going to be out of commission for a couple of rounds, and I just go ahead and play a card and all the stun counters go away, it can seriously upset their expectation of timing. 4 Heroes Downfall, because there are still Planeswalkers as you saw in the game. We get rid of the Planeswalkers that way. 1 Screaming Nemesis. I only have 1 copy, I believe, right now. 3/3 with haste. When this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If you deal the damage to a player, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. There is a ton of life gain right now from the color white, mostly a little bit from black, and this will help just keep things under control. I have 3 Barbed Servitors I'm trying out. It's an indestructible 1/1 creature. When it enters the battlefield, you suspect it, meaning it gets menace, but not only does it get menace, suspect also means that it can't block anything. So as soon as it comes into play, guess what? You lose the ability to block with it. Now there are ways that you can move that counter, remove that counter, and maybe turn it into a blocker later, which I'm going to maybe explore in a different deck. But in this case, it's my draw card advantage. Since it has menace, they have to block with at least 2 creatures. They don't usually want to chump block with a 1/1 because they don't want to lose their creatures. But if all they've got is like a 3 power and a 4 power card, they're doing 7 damage to an indestructible creature. Whenever it's dealt damage, the target opponent loses the life. So my creature stays around. They'd lose 7 damage by blocking it. So most of the time, they're letting it through and letting me hit them for 1. I lose 1 life myself, but I get to draw a card. That draw card advantage helps me draw into all this other stuff that helps me control the battlefield. Here's Soul Enervation, another card that I kind of like from Karlov Manor that I don't see used that much. It's got flash, so a lot of times I'm holding it for my opponent's turn. Just as a surprise thing, the target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn, and then whenever 1 or more of the creature cards leave my graveyard, the opponent loses a life and I gain a life. This can happen if they kill my Unstoppable Slasher, because it comes right back to the battlefield. It can happen if you sacrifice the Blood Spatter Analysis enchantment and bring a creature back to your hand. So a couple of different ways that this will help us. And this can keep on triggering throughout the match. I have 4 copies of the Siege. When it enters, deal 3 damage to any other target and you gain 3 life. And then, of course, we can get Granny Ravi Sengir, who, just like most of the Sengir clan, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, gets a +1/+1 counter on her. Plus, she also gains 1 life. Well, I gain 1 life from that. And 2 copies of Overlord or the Boiler Bilges. If we don't have 6, we can pay 4 for the impending cost, bring it down just as an enchantment to start with, deal 4 damage to any target, and then it has these counters on it, right? The time counters that are removed. You can also use Render Inert to remove those time counters if you want, and that gives me the idea for a whole nother deck. So it's interesting that I keep coming across cards that have been around for a while, and just putting them in my deck and going through it. You hear me talking, and it's like I already got 2 new deck ideas just from this deck idea that I put together. For the lands, I don't think I included a man land, did I this time? Oh yes, there we go. My 1 copy of Restless Vents. I can pay 3, turn into a 2/3 black and red insect creature. It has menace too, so it's fitting with the theme. Whenever it attacks, I can discard a card. If I do, draw a card. This is really fun with Convenient Target, because that I can just discard that card and then pay 3 and get it back whenever I feel like. This is also a fun card to use if you're up against a discard deck, so keep that in mind. That's the idea. Playful Slasher. We hit them with a Slasher, and we finish them off with a little Playful Shove if we need to. And life gain again. Well, alright. That is a lot of what's out there these days. I started playtesting the deck with 4 copies of Convenient Target, but I don't have that many creatures, so it was popping up too much in multiple copies in my hand, so I cut it down to 3 copies. And I think that's going to work better. Here, let's just see if they have any protection to save their little rabbit. They might. Both green and white have protective abilities. And we know they got something. Okay, we just had to wait to let them decide. Okay, we do mill a card each time. We already have 1 Barbed Servitor. We usually don't need more than that, so we should be okay with that. Here's where we start to find out what they have to deal with things. Whenever that creature's dealt damage, they gain life. We don't care about that. We care, do they have removal? Do they have a pacify? And they might be willing to chump block, but what happens when they have no choice, when they absolutely have to chump block? They can't kill that unless they have something to pump it up with a forest. No, so they take it. They take the damage. 11 points. Life is good. This is part of why the card is scary. Duskmourn is a horror expansion. It works out pretty nicely in that way. Just the first hit is so scary because you lose so much, but really, it's not as scary as you think because there's all sorts of. Oh, they're not even bothering. Wow. What do I do against that? I think we just put this down just for fun. 3 and then 3 more. And I can do 4 points of damage. I'd give them life from there, but that wouldn't matter too much. But then we already have a second copy ready, so if they do something to this, we just bring down the second one as well. If you're going up against a mono-red aggro deck, they can kill you in 4 or 5 turns. If you're getting this out on turn 3, you've still got like, what, a 4-turn clock? Assuming they're at full strength. If you're not putting anything else out, right, you'll get them down to 18 and then take away half, they'll get down to 9. Then they go down to 3. Well, so it's a 3-turn clock from turn 3, so that's still 6 turns of the game. Did you exile it? Of course. Arena found things with exile. I haven't been too impressed with the Final Fantasy cards just because a lot of the ones I've been reading are just reskins of regular Magic cards. It's not like they did something fabulously. So you get rid of that puppy if we can. That worked. We wait for whatever they're doing. I'm assuming they have a disenchant, actually. They might use it on this, but yeah, I can just recycle it. I want to give the Servitor Suspect as well. I mean, it already has Menace, but I want to do the 2 points of damage. And we just have so many ways to do damage to them at this point. It's just disgusting. We're just waiting. Whatever you've been holding, you better use it now, right? The disenchant won't work on this, although it is an artifact. It's got indestructible, so they need another exile effect. I don't mind losing 1 life. Life is a resource. That gives me my land drop. That's perfect, because now I can cast Elgrotha. It gives me even more options. The deck's a well-tooled machine. Lifelink! More lifelink. They try. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. It stays around because it's indestructible. And whenever it's dealt damage, the opponent loses that much life. So, yeah. We could kill them with this. We could kill them with this. We could kill them just by attacking. Because they can't block it. Because they had to hit us with that. And they don't have 2 creatures to block. So we actually had 3 ways to kill them. That's when you know you're getting into a scary deck. So, yeah, it's just the unstoppable slasher when it's coming at you. If you don't have a way to block it, the death touch means, do you really want to give up your field advantage of creatures in order to block it? Some people are like, oh, I've got 2 creatures out, but they're tiny right now. I would just lose them. That would only give me 1 turn. A lot of people choose to take that first hit and save their creatures and hope that they get dealt something that's going to help take care of the problem. We make it really difficult for them by mandating with convenient target, hey, you need to block this with 2 creatures. It really changes the calculus for them. It really ups the danger quotient for Unstoppable Slasher, and only for 1 red mana. Life gain again. Well, we'll mill ourselves as well while you're milling yourself. This could just be a reanimate deck. I've got a couple of variations on the Grim Throne deck. You may sacrifice another creature. Let's attack with this. They do not block. They do not want that damage stopping them from gaining life for the rest of the game. Another Final Fantasy card with Swamp Cycling. I like the ability is Bad Breath. Okay. We'll put that down. We'll put this down. We'll put this down. Hit him for 3. Life is good. They just don't know. I'm going to show you another trick if they decide to swing in and attack. I'm expecting them to kill the slasher right now. No way. Okay. I'm going to block here. I get to deal 1 point of damage. The damage goes to Screaming Nemesis. That point goes there, and they can't gain life anymore for the rest of the game. They got rid of everybody. Too late. And there's actually nothing for us to do this turn. We lost a stun counter. If they have another removal card, they can throw this in the graveyard. They just have another one of those. We'll get rid of your second mythic rare legendary creature. I'm losing all my removal anyway. You're kind of hoping it mills a creature in there sometimes. And again, nothing really to do. I mean, I could have put a convenient target on it, but they've got to have removal again to stop the damage. Because if they don't, we could probably remove their creature or just avoid it. They're looking to chump block. No, they're looking to... Hello. Bingo. I get Screaming Nemesis back. Life is so good right now. Lifelink doesn't help you anymore. And let's just do this. We'll give it convenient target now, because it gives me an extra point of damage. 8 goes down to 4. And I've got 3 coming in. If they remove this, I've got 3 damage anyway. They don't know I have 4 because I have another convenient target. So, again, a couple of different ways we have to kill them. If I got another land, I could just do these 2 and kill them. Oh, sorry. I couldn't use that. I'm thinking of Playful Shove. Ooh, are they going to get rid of all of my slashers? No, they didn't. They should have. They made a mistake. They could have collected evidence 6. Oh, this is fine. We'll get rid of the card we can bring back. Bring you down. They'll probably have to jump block to keep it alive. 1 point of damage. Land is not going to help them. Return all creature cards. You'd think that would help them. What are we doing here? They're going to mill me? What did that one do? Each opponent discards card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. You know, that's a nice card. Where did it go? Oh, there we are. Awakening Hall. They had just enough land to do it. And killed themselves. Well, I was going to attack with my little red creature, and they wouldn't have been able to stop me anyway. Okay, that's the second one. All right, let's keep on going. That's 3 in a row, so Arena should do something to stop us from winning right now. I feel like I should apologize for being gone. It wasn't a planned absence, but occasionally what happens is at work I have to put in some overtime. I'll have like a week-long kind of thing going on. I'll put in more like 60 hours than 40, and I had 2 of those things come up kind of one after the other, so they were spaced really close together. And on one of the weekends, a Saturday, when normally I would be resting and maybe playing some Magic to recover, I had to go to a family funeral, and that type of thing takes the entire day. So that cost me most of the couple of weeks right there. There are some other things that were also going on, and I'm missing land drops. So yeah, you win 3 in a row, and suddenly you're land starved. That kind of fits, and none of the right colors. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's do Screaming Nemesis. They're going to take it. They take the trade, so life gain is off the board for them. So some other things that are going on. I've also got a side project I'm volunteering my time on for a particular intellectual property. And if you, I don't feel I'm in a place where I can talk about that just yet. But if you knew what the property was, you would absolutely approve of me spending my time on that based on the contributions I've made towards making that product better, as opposed to just playing the Magic game. So it's definitely a worthwhile endeavor. And if I ever get to the point where I feel like I can talk about it on this channel, I will. Still not... Well, you know what? Convenient target. They'd have to sacrifice this just to get rid of the enchantment aura, but in the meantime, they wouldn't have anybody left to block. In the meantime, we can still do this, and we can double block them if they keep the Brontodon and decide to attack. We can double block with Fear of Lost Teeth and kill it. So now they're looking. They know they can't block. What was that? They gave it +3/+3 until end of turn? Why? There's some big creatures. Okay, we get rid of you. Land! We do need the land. Let's see what else we can get here. More land? Okay. They'll have to double block. Now, are we far enough ahead that we can still get this all done? Wow. They lose their big creature just to make sure that the slasher doesn't come back. And then they give up. I think... Did they not understand? Did they forget about Death Touch all of a sudden? They seemed like they were upset with that departure. We missed our first land drop and we still won. This is very strange. There's a new expansion out called Final Fantasy. They have all sorts of new cards. People should be playing those on us and wiping the board. This is usually what happens when a new expansion comes out, is everybody plays with the new toys and somehow they all seem desperately fast and uber overpowered, and all of your favorite decks are suddenly useless in the new meta environment. We haven't used any of the new cards yet. I'm kind of slow on incorporating the Dragonstorm cards just because they moved up the release dates, right? So they keep releasing new product. Yeah, I was so sure I was going to have extra time this year to make more videos, and the reverse is happening. Work was busy. I had the funeral. I've got the side project. I'm also doing a house remodel kind of thing right now, and so I have to meet with the contractors and get HOA approvals and stuff like that. So that's taking up a chunk of time. All of these things are hitting all at once. And I did try to make one recording, and it didn't work. So I tried to interrupt the stream or interrupt my own interruptions. What did they spend to get rid of that? It's only 1 mana, I guess. Yeah, we're up against Final Fantasy deck, maybe? Let's see what happens. Land starved. Okay. We miss our first land drop 2 games in a row. What are the percentage odds of that? Luckily, I have my 1-drops. My trusty 1-drops. So nice. And we do have something. If I get land starved for a 3rd turn in a row, we do have a 1-drop that we can put on here. What is going on with them? Are they also land starved? That is not right. I like their username. Their username is decimal. They don't have the right color. Shouldn't worry them if they have tons of removal. They do have something because they're holding up priority. Go for the throat. One of the most common removal cards. Let's see if they have a second removal card. This is the other reason Unstoppable Slasher makes for a big opponent. If you want to throw it into somebody's graveyard, you usually have to have 2 removal spells. Using Fire Magic. What was that? Thunder Magic was the first one. Ah, they have the right color now. So our stuff is all gone. I'm going to wait on this. I could just hit their face, but let's see if they put a creature down. Streets and New Capenna rules. They're playing 3 colors. They got all 3 colors down. Let's see if they have protection on this. They do not. All right. Again, we're going to wait and see what kind of creatures they have. I feel like we had the luxury of time a little bit. If they want to populate the field, maybe we just remove the field. Draw and discard. And they can transform. The invasion's not going to work. This one will work. Get rid of their mythic, their new expansion, Mythic Rare Legendary. And they just have another one. Okay. And they get rid of a Go for the Throat. This is all we have to get rid of this one. The toughness 4 becomes a problem for us after a while. But we lost another time encounter. Time counters go boom. Overlord goes boom boom. Another toughness 4. What a coincidence. Let's see. And they get... Oh, this is every time they get to create a black wizard? That is gross. Alright, so... we need to spend 2 spells just to get rid of 1 creature. We're going to mill 2 cards. Oh, my other Overlord. It's another legendary creature. And this is one reason why I don't like the Final Fantasy expansion. There's way too many of these puppies. But 4 copies of Playful Shove will kind of account for that. So if you're worried at all about running this deck against the Final Fantasy stuff, this is one of your biggest concerns, really, right here, is the idea that they're going to get a whole bunch of these 0/1 Black Wizard creature tokens and then just play a lot of instants and sorceries. It's already a big strategy. It reminds me of the Strixhaven Pest decks. Say that 3 times fast. I'm expecting them to remove this. They've had a couple of drawn discards, so they've been able to pick and choose what they can have in reserve, and they threw away an entire Go for the Throat. Hello. That I did not expect. Another Mythic Rare Legendary. With only 2 mana, I don't think they can get rid of this. Okay, I'm confused. Let's see if this trips them up at all. Do they just have a bounce spell? Now they have no way to block it. 4 damage to their creature that they just put down. They just give up? Is that 5 games in a row? Are we 100%? It's a trick. It's a trap. They want me to go into ranked. I'm not going to do it. Auron's Inspiration. Creatures get +2 till end of turn. Again, kind of a reskinned, not really original. I mean, the art is always good, right? The flavor, if you know Final Fantasy, the flavor's good. And I like the fact that they identify which version, which number of the game it was on for each one that it matches up with. Which the real big fans might not need, but it's handy for people like me that skipped it because they went to college. I feel like I need to keep going till we lose. Yeah, I view tokens with disdain still to a certain degree. There's a way to really get a bunch of these 0/1 Black Wizard tokens out. And it renders a lot of the previous strategies null and void. I feel sorry for some decks like green might be too slow even with the ramp to counter that. And not being able to... I mean, I even feel sorry for black a little bit. sometimes. This deck configuration seems to be pretty good in terms of being able to deal with the 1-drops without it taking too many of your resources. But a lot of other decks are going to have a lot of problems. But Mark Rosewater and a lot of the other designers, tokens are like one of their favorite things of this game. They really like tokens. Fear of Lost Teeth, I have gained a new appreciation for just the ability to give this 1 extra point of damage. So useful in the early game. I mean, what's he going to do? Sacrifice to kill me? Use a removal? There we go. Thunder. Okay. There, you just lost that. I mean, maybe you'll sacrifice it now to deal a point of damage, but we're taking it off the board. That's basically 2 cards I got rid of with my little 1/1. See what else we got coming our way. Barbed Surtur. No, I don't have 4 land yet. Do I have to do removal again, or I can get rid of Fleeting Effigy this time? Burst Lightning, good. They get rid of that now, so they don't have to worry about the kicker cost and then doing 4 damage to my face later. It still costs them a point of life. I gain a point. They think Flaming Effigy is good. They don't know we're ready for them next turn with Hero's Downfall. Blazing Balm, a Final Fantasy card. Nope. Nope. Our 3rd copy of Fear of Lost Teeth. MVP. Who cares about Unstoppable Slasher? You're gonna die to my teeth. Ha ha ha. Another removal card that costs you a point of health, and I actually gain life. Take an Unstoppable Slasher, my friend. Bob Boy 827. I got 5 wins already. You can't stop me now. I am invincible. I am unstoppable. And yet, still a little playful. Did that exile my Unstoppable Slasher? Do I have the habit of deciding to brag at the absolute worst time in the game? Soul Innervation is going to come in handy as a flash attack. Get rid of your legendary Fairy Scout. Seriously, Arena? Alright, let's do this. I'm not going to discard anything. I've got enough mana to actually pay for everything that I want. Now I'm getting flooded this time around. Yeah, we'll keep that. Let's see if they have a removal card yet. I don't think they do. Do they? They do! Okay. That's a lot of removal spells in there. You get to create those, the problem. And I only had 1 Restless Vents. 3 of my teeth gone. 1 Slasher exiled. Alright, since I have Hero's Downfall, I have some leisure here. I also have Render Inert, which they're not going to understand. I won't say that it's not that they won't understand it, but they're not going to expect it. Nobody expects render inert against a siege. It's they're from the same expansion. I've done it before. People do not expect it. But you know, if they're going to give me 3 of them, over 20 health, I have an embarrassment of riches now. And they're just holding cards. They do nothing. Give me land. That's right. 3 old growth roads in a row, and you're down to 7. I'm so sorry. It's not going to get any better for you. They got to feel good, right? I'm just flooding out with land all over the place. Free card. 5 defense counters removed. We wait for them to understand what's happening to them. They should have removal. That's what we've come to expect. We're not too far above them on land. Some of these were sorceries, right? No, they've all been instants so far. They could do 8 damage to target creature, depending on if they have that kind of spell again. Time for blood spatter analysis. Watch. No, okay. Good. I didn't lose a creature. I don't want to lose a creature right now for that. Goblin negotiation. Gets +1 for each land you control. Why does he get that for land? That is messed up. Another legendary creature. They die. We get a bloodstained counter. We mill a card. The card is inconvenient target. We can just bring that up now to our hand. But now they start to get to create creatures, and I need something. Because I've drawn so much land. This is our 10th land to their 7. That does get sacrificed, though. Every time it sacrifices, we mill a card. That's all I can do. Now this might work out for me because they're gonna trigger my blood spatter analysis. That's gonna give me a counter every time. I'm gonna get something good back. Oh, yes. 4 damage right to their face. You thought you were good with red cards. Thought you were good with direct damage. What can you do? I can't stop this. It's on the stack. Ouch! You know what? Why not? I got another one in the graveyard already. Okay, 3 damage. Kill it. Go ahead, kill it. Ball lightning. Kill it. I'm going to bring you back. $4 damage. Do you have any life gain? you have any life gain. You have an instant. Six and 0. We did not lose this round. We got land starved a couple times and we got land flooded. Those are all the normal tricks Arena does when I start winning. I got all of my chores done just now. You know what? I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. They want me to go into ranked. I haven't gone into ranked in the longest time. This is the deck. And Unstoppable Slasher didn't even really make that much of an impact that time. They were able to exile the one that came up, and then we just didn't even draw anymore. Instead, we had, the little render inert trick with Invasion of Old Growth, which made it handy. We got the Blood Spatter Analysis that brought this back out of the grave to just hit their face with damage. Everything's just really clicking with this configuration of cards. I'm really happy with the way this deck turned out. I got to figure out a different deck to get rid of, because I think I want to keep this one around. Again, I apologize for being gone. We'll talk next time about the changes in Patreon, in how Apple got slapped down in court. Maybe we'll talk about how YouTube's taken over TV, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, leave a comment on what you think of the deck configuration, if there's something different that you would do, how much you like or dislike this particular deck. And as always, we ask you for a like and a subscribe. If you haven't checked out the Patreon, go ahead and consider that. I don't pump that often, but it's been a while. And you know what? I just had a really good time with this deck. It's like, you know what it is I was away for 2 weeks, and Arena forgot about me. And right now I'm flying under the radar. And I think I'm just going to keep winning until Arena understands, oh, Travis is back. I have to sabotage him. So if you get tired of losing a lot, right? If you're tired of the 50-50 mandatory win-loss ratio, or maybe Arena's keeping you down because you're like a free-to-play player like me, and you haven't given them any money on Arena, and they make sure that you're probably under 50%, right? If you experiment with wonky decks at all, you know what? Just take a break for a couple of weeks, let Arena forget about you, and then come back with a new deck, and just enjoy the win after win after win. They want me to go into ranked with this. It's a trap. Should I go into ranked? Let me know. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.